The way that you part your hair helps to bring out certain features of your face. Different parts strengthen or soften different features, and it can be so impactful that changing up your part can be as powerful or even more powerful than changing up your haircut. Most people have a really strong and defined natural part, and finding that natural part can be really easy, but finding the part that looks the best on you may not always be so easy. Today we're going to talk all about hair parts, how to find it, how to change it, different looks, and how those different looks can have an impact on your face. Let's go. The first thing on the agenda is how to find your natural part. What you want to do is start with towel dried but wet hair. Take a wide tooth comb or a brush and brush your hair all the way back. Take your hand, place it on the center of your head and push forward. 9 times out of 10, your hair will part itself where it wants to go, and this is because of your hair's natural growth pattern. So as you can see, my natural part is on the left-hand side of the middle. Your natural part is going to be flattering for sure. It's going to sit well, it's going to look nice on your face 9 times out of 10, but it might not be overly exciting. It might not give you that like, whoa, your hair looks awesome type of response from people, and that's just because it's normal. It's your normal look. It's your day-to-day vibe. Now, in my 16 years working in this industry, normal does not equate bad. Normal is not always bad. And for whatever reason, a part on a woman is something that is very personal and something that some people feel really committed to. It's the first question I ask when I'm cutting someone's hair. It's the first question I ask when I'm styling someone's hair. What is your part? How do you want to part your hair? Sometimes when you change your part, you can feel really strange, really out of place. You feel like you look really weird. So I'm not saying in this video that you can't keep your natural part, that you can't wear your natural part. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that if you feel like it, if you're getting crazy on a Saturday night and you're drinking wine with your husband, go to the mirror and experiment with some different parts, because you may be surprised as to what you discover and what you learn from just flipping your hair in a few different ways. This is how we're going to do that. When you are blow drying your hair, you want to subsection the entire middle section out, and you want to blow dry that section back. I actually like to put my blow dry brush backwards and forwards to give a really nice smooth result, since I have really textured hair. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. My hair is also very fine, so I like setting that entire section with Velcro rollers so that my hair has a chance to cool and give me a nice lift throughout the day. Again, that is optional. That's not something that you have to do. But what you do not want to do for sure is you don't want to blow dry your part into your hair when you are experimenting with different parts, because for a lot of people, I'm not one of those people, I don't have a super defined part. For a lot of my clients though, their hair has a growth pattern and that part is set in the hair. If you blow dry it, so you part your hair, say it parts this way, and you blow dry your hair this way and this way, that part is going to be so ingrained in the hair that you're not even going to be able to change it if you want to. So a way to get around that is just to blow dry that entire section backwards so that you don't have any part at all in the blow dry, so that you can manipulate it later when the hair is dry. Now let's play. Let's start with a super popular part for 2022, and that is the middle part. What can I say? This part is just in style, if you like it or not. I did a video about style trends for 2022, and I got some comments that said that's so stupid, you should part your hair the way you want. I agree. I totally agree. You should part your hair the way you want. You don't have to follow style trends. You don't have to follow, what's hot and new, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the middle part is in. We're seeing it a lot in runway. We're seeing it a lot in fashion. Yeah, we're seeing it a lot on social media. It's just the part that's trending right now. It's kind of the vibe that people are feeling right now. You will either love this on your face or you're going to hate this on your face, and you're gonna know right away if you love it or if you hate it. Now, one word of caution is that if you have a very strong growth pattern in the front of your hair, so you have a really strong cowlick here that wants to go up and over, sometimes a middle part isn't even a part that's going to work for you. For certain people, there really are some parts that physically will not work, even if you blow dry your hair back. If you have a really strong growth pattern that is more on the side, pushing hair over, a middle part may not work for you. But if you don't have that, then give it a try. This is a low vertical volume hair part. If you are someone that feels more beautiful with lift in the hair, this may not be the part for you. Also, because it's low vertical volume, it tends to expand horizontally. So certain hair textures don't always work with it. I find that clients with thick curly hair typically don't love having a middle part because it expands the hair too much horizontally and can widen the face and make the hair look triangular. What I do find that the middle part does extremely well though is bring out the cheekbones in those girls that have pronounced or high cheekbones. People who have diamond face shapes like J-Lo, or even heart face shapes like Reese Witherspoon. Those two face shapes have very defined and pronounced cheekbones, and I find that the middle part on those types of people look really, really, really good because it highlights and puts emphasis on that cheekbone structure. Another point that I want to make with the middle part is that if you like it but feel like it isn't super flattering, you can go slightly off center. This will give the middle part vibe with a less harsh edge. Now let's talk about the side part. This is a part that most people really like to wear. There are a few different ways that you can do a side part. So you can do a natural side part, which is just your natural part. Most people I find have a natural side part. You could do a deep side part, but on the natural side. So just go deeper from your natural and bring it over. Or you could do the opposite side of your natural side part. Whoa, it's getting really crazy in here. Top up your wine. It's Saturday night. Do the opposite side part. We are not even going to talk about a natural side part because it just is what it is. So let's start with a deep side part. A deep side part is going to throw a lot of hair over to one side. So a few things are going to happen. You're going to get a lot of vertical volume. So you get a huge lift here through the front of the face. You're also going to get a lot of volume on the side where all the hair is thrown to. And that is because what ends up happening when you do a deep side part is you take all of this hair, you shift it over, and you essentially layer this side. So I have a blunt bob cut in a middle part, so I don't have any layers, but when I do a deep side part, all of a sudden, this is much shorter than my baseline, so it self layers without actually doing any cutting, which is very cool because you get loads of movement and you get loads of body on that side that you flip the hair to. I think this part looks amazing on people with round, beautiful little faces, and the reason for that is because you are creating so much height here that you are actually elongating the face. You're pushing height up and you're elongating the face. I also really like this part on people with really strong jawlines or really contoured faces because it opens up the one side of the face a lot. So I often like wearing my hair on the one side tucked behind my ear. And so what that does is it gives me all this volume and shape on this side, but it also really elongates my cheekbone. It defines my jaw. I don't have an overly strong jaw, but people that have a nice strong jaw, when you have that side part and you're opening up one side of the face, it can be really flattering. Another thing I want to note is that if you don't have a very symmetrical face, a side part can be very flattering for you because a middle part kind of draws a line, this invisible line through the center of your face, and you have like right side, left side with this line in the middle. You can really start to see if there are any asymmetrical things about your face. With a side part, you don't get that, invisible line through the face, and you actually get a lot of the face hidden on the side where you have all of the hair. So it really detracts from the fact that there may be asymmetries there. This is also a great option for people with curly hair because it can really balance the volume and not make it look so wide. You just get tons of beautiful vertical lift. It's gorgeous. Now let's talk about the opposite side part. Now try this because it may surprise you. This goes against a lot of people's instincts. They're like, no. Sometimes when I go in to do bridal work, I'll be like, let's try doing the updo with the opposite side to see if you can get lift. And I almost am always met with resistance. The person's like, I'm gonna feel so weird. And then a lot of times when I do it, they're like, oh, because you do get a ton of volume that way. You get a ton of volume, and the volume doesn't collapse because it's volume based on growth pattern. It's not volume that we like blow dried in and has a, has a chance to drop and set. It really is a growth pattern thing. So the volume can't really collapse at all. Finally, let's talk about something that people don't talk about a lot right now, and that is the zigzag part. This was so in style when I was a kid, and I did it all the time, and I have vivid memories of doing it because Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen did it, and I literally wanted to be the Brazilian version of them. I actually had a hard time finding examples of this part on Pinterest because it really is outdated, but I'm going to tell you something right now. It is outdated, but it is going to come back. Mark my words, this part, like everything else in fashion and in hair, is going to make a comeback. You can do this in the middle or on the side, but I still think it's kind of cool if you have the confidence to pull it off because it disorganizes the root. So it's a really good way of camouflaging overgrown roots. When you take away that sharp line from the part, you can't see the demarcation as clearly. I had an older client in her 60s, and she always parted her hair like this, and honestly it looked amazing because it gave her a lot of volume, and it tends to do that as well because it's not as natural or concrete of a part. Disorganizing that part really does give you a bit of a lift, but it also camouflaged in between color sessions for her incredibly well. So she got volume and root camouflage, which is kind of amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to know a simple way to figure out the best hair color for your skin tone, then check out this video next. I'll see you next week. Bye.